Can y'all believe it's here? I'm in my 3rd trimester. So today I am exactly 29 weeks. This is my 2nd trimester update, just to give you the rundown of what went on for the last 3 months. First thing that I want to talk about is his movements. Right after I made my 1st trimester update was when I started feeling like the flutter, and at first I wasn't sure. I was like, is this bubble guts? I don't know, but around 15 weeks I definitely saw like a little bit of movement in my lower abdomen. Maybe around like the 18-19 week mark was when like I really could see him move and feel him move, so that was super exciting. Now he is moving constantly, especially the past month. He's moving so much, and he especially likes to move at night. So he sleeps during the day and he plays all night. So my pregnancy app actually said like my movements throughout the day probably is rocking him to sleep. So while I'm sleeping, while I'm settling down for the night, he's like wide awake and he's bouncing all over the place. I'm addicted to his movements and I don't want him to stop, because it just gives me peace of mind that he's okay. And I just love how magical it is to like have this baby just living inside of me. So that's that. As far as cravings, I think I mentioned in my last video that I didn't really have any cravings. Kind of do now. I'm obsessed with watermelon, the dollar ice cream cones from Sonic, love those, and Windex. And you're gonna be like, Shelby, Windex, how is that a craving? I'm addicted to glass cleaner, and I don't even know how to explain it, but I love the smell of it, and it even makes my mouth water. I know that's bad, but look, I'm not huffing it, I'm not sniffing it, I'm not doing anything like that. I don't know, just something about glass cleaner is just, I crave that smell. And even just talking about it now, like my mouth is watering, and that is a shame. That is a shame, this shame. I've never heard of like pregnancy cravings that weren't food, but that is definitely a craving for me. As weird as it may sound. I feel so crazy. As far as like my body goes, how my body have changed. So in my last update, I talked a lot about my soreness in my breast. I haven't had any soreness whatsoever in the 2nd trimester, but I do have like dark pigmentation on the sides of my breast. Now, of course, like my nipples and my areola have gotten darker, but I mean like freckly pigmentation like on the side, like coming from like my armpit to like the side of my boob. I don't know if that's like a pregnancy thing or if that's just like what my particular body is like going through, but I have gained weight. My 2nd trimester total, I've gained about 13 pounds. So my May appointment, I was 137. My June appointment, I was 141. My July appointment, I was 149, and my August appointment, I was 150. So from July to August, I only gained 1 pound. I don't know how that was possible, but my doctor didn't say anything about it, so I guess like I'm good. But total, during my entire pregnancy, I've gained about 18 pounds. My pregnancy acne is kind of going away. I still have like scarring from picking it just a little bit, or I don't know, just right here. Kind of looks like I'm growing a beard. I have like a 5 o'clock shadow, but whatever, that's clearing up. I don't really have an issue with it. I have no more nausea. Well, I had no more nausea. So once I hit the 2nd trimester, I didn't have a lot of nausea until the end of my 2nd trimester. And I thought that was really weird. I thought I was just sick, or like, I don't know. So I put it on Facebook that my nausea returned, and my friend said the same thing happened to her. Like the closer she got to her due date, her nausea returned. So I was like, oh, okay, this is normal. And my friend, we're actually a week apart in our pregnancies right now, and she said the same thing, that her nausea has returned. I have had swollen feet. I've gotten swollen feet since about the 19-week mark, 18-19 week mark. Like long car rides, my feet get super swollen, or if I'm standing too long, if I'm super hot, my feet get swollen, I have to prop them prop them up. And I also have getting like little tingly feelings like on the bottom of my feet. Oh, and another thing, I'm hot and I'm always out of breath. So I'm gonna catch up a little bit. Whew, okay, yeah, so hot flashes and out of breath. Definitely picking those up as well. And I've been getting a lot of Charlie's horses. Like when I'm waking up in the morning and I stretch, like my calves hurt so bad. Like I almost feel like I can't walk. It hurts so badly. And I talked to my doctor about it, and she said the reason for that may be lack of calcium, lack of magnesium, lack of sleep. I don't remember what the other one was. Oh, water. Lack of water. Bananas are really good with potassium, obviously, but bananas can also cause constipation if you eat too many, and you know that's already a pregnancy symptom, so I don't want to eat too many bananas. Speaking of constipation, I haven't really been too constipated. For the most part during my pregnancy, I've kind of been a little bit more regular than I have been before I got pregnant. Frequency peeing. So I didn't really have like that urge to pee or like that frequency to pee until around the 27-week mark. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago was when I really noticed, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to the bathroom a lot. I just went to the bathroom. I'm going again. Before then, I was like, I'm just going normally or whatever. So I don't know if that has to do with water intake or whatever the case may be, but it's definitely around the time that I noticed that he was starting to kick my bladder. So maybe that's like a correlation there. But other than that, my frequent urination really didn't start until like a couple weeks ago. So I haven't had any heartburn, no constipation, no stretch marks. In my 6-month mark, like I noticed there was a lot of discharge to the point where I was just like, I need to get some panty liners. Like, this is embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. But it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but it got to the point where it was just like, it was bad. I was like, so my doctor's appointment. So each doctor's appointment, they're gonna check your height, your weight, and your blood pressure, and then also the baby's heartbeat. So that's pretty much been everything that's been happening in all of my doctor's appointment. 20-week appointment, which is the anatomy ultrasound appointment. They, checked all of his organs, his vitals, his spine, all that good stuff. They couldn't see like a part of his heart, so they had to schedule me again. Most women only get like the anatomy ultrasound and then like another one, I think, during the 3rd trimester. But I ended up getting another anatomy ultrasound because they couldn't see a part of his heart. And that's also when I found out I have an anterior placenta, which means my placenta is in the front of my belly instead of in the back, like most women's like most women. And I don't think that's any like cause for alarm. Like the doctor didn't say anything about it. It's just one of those things that just happens to some women. When that happens, like, you may not feel the baby's movements as strong or as often, but either he's just like really strong, because I see him move just fine. I felt him move very early. If it wasn't in the front, he'd probably be busting through my belly button. But she said it does give him a little bit of protection and a little cushion. 24 weeks, I had to go back for another ultrasound because they couldn't see his heart. And this time he cooperated a little bit more. And they saw everything that they needed to see. They said everything was good. Last doctor's appointment for the 2nd trimester was 28 weeks, which I had last week. And this is when they do the glucose test. So basically you take that little orange syrupy drink, wait an hour later, and they take your blood, or they draw your blood. I didn't have a problem with that orange drink. I thought it tasted like those little creature coolers or like those little barrel drinks that you drink as a child. I don't see it with a big deal about women. Like, it's gross, it's nasty, it's thick, it's disgusting. He told me I had 5 minutes. When I took a sip, I was like, ooh, I got you in 2, okay? Like, I'm about to drink this up. I'm thirsty. So I had no problem drinking that. It wasn't terrible. I was fine with it. I could do it again, to be honest. My results came back that my glucose test was fine. My sugars are good. But I am borderline anemic, so I need to take iron. And from now on, I have doctor's appointments every 2 weeks. So that's how you know it's getting real. And that is about all. So I'm gonna give you a belly shot in one moment. My belly. Oh, you can see my belly button too. It's definitely popped out as well. So I'm gonna show you my heel. Look at that. So you can see inside. A lot of people say that I'm like really tiny, but I feel like I look huge. I feel like I look normal for this time. So yeah, there's my bump. Okay, I had to get back on here because I totally almost forgot another symptom that I've been having. So the past few weeks, I've been getting lightning crotch, which basically looks like this sharp pain that just like shoots up like in your vagina or like the cervix or wherever it is. So painful. It's like, and it's exactly what it sounds like, lightning crotch. It just, and you're like kind of like frozen or paralyzed for a little bit. You're like, okay, just waiting for it to pass. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it lingers a little bit longer. So yeah, lightning crotch is real. Oh, and then another thing I want to say is during my 20-week anatomy ultrasound, he was weighing at 12 ounces, and at my 24-week ultrasound, he was weighing at 1 pound and 8 ounces. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you for this update, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.